This morning, Fox 30 Action News Jax begins with breaking news.
After hours of riots in D.C. as a mob stormed the Capitol, Congress has finalized Joe Biden's victory. That victory certified by Congress just after 3:30 this morning. We have new statements from President Donald Trump on the transfer of power.
Plus, a curfew is now lifted in Washington, D.C. This morning, America on edge, wondering what will happen today and how we'll begin to heal. January 6th will live in infamy for the U.S. The riot, pipe bombs around Washington, D.C., and the threats to safety were not enough to prevent the U.S. Congress from doing its job. They got back to work overnight and certified the electoral votes, making Joe Biden the nation's 46th president. Welcome to Action News Jax this morning. I'm Letitia Barriola.
And I'm Phil Amato. Boy, Congress worked into the early morning hours this morning.
Yeah.
That's right. Minutes after the certification, too, was official, President Trump finally pledged an orderly transfer of power to Joe Biden. President Trump released this statement. You can read it on your screen here. He does pledge an orderly transfer of power on January 20th, but he also repeats false claims about the election that led to a mob storming the Capitol on Wednesday.
Here's the very latest when it comes to the chaos at the Capitol. 4 people died during the riot and protest. You're seeing a picture of a woman who was shot and killed inside the Capitol, identified as Ashley Babbitt. 3 other people at the protest died in what D.C. police say are unrelated medical emergencies. And right now, Facebook and Twitter have suspended President Donald Trump's accounts. Twitter says his account will stay locked, and if he doesn't remove the tweets that the company says violate their policy. And the FBI asking for people who witnessed the incident yesterday to submit information and pictures relevant to their investigation.
Action News Jax, Jacqueline Fell joins us live now from Washington, D.C. this morning. And Jackie, a lot of change overnight after just a day of chaos on Wednesday.
Phil, good morning. You know, months after President Trump has refused to concede, but finally overnight, he putting out a statement saying that he will agree to an orderly transfer of power. It is a much calmer morning here in D.C., a very different situation than it was just 12 hours ago. In a shocking turn of events, Trump supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol, pushing past police officers, marching through Statuary Hall, we the people! Eventually seizing the House Speaker's seat, as well as the President of the Senate. Lawmakers counting Electoral College votes, forced to evacuate, wearing gas masks as police work to hold back the mob. President-elect Joe Biden spoke out in the middle of the chaos.
America's so much better than what we've seen today.
Biden demanded the violence end, calling on President Trump to tell his supporters to leave. The president put out a video a short time later.
We can't play into the hands of these people. We have to have peace. So go home. We love you. You're very special.
Several protesters and police were hurt. One woman shot and killed. The National Guard was called in to help secure the Capitol building. And Congress was quick to get back to work after everything was clear. Now, there were 2 objections during the electoral votes. Lawmakers were challenging the votes in 2 different states, Arizona and Pennsylvania. Florida senators were split on how they felt about the proceedings. A lot of senators, though, did change their mind because of these protests. Now, the curfew has lifted here in D.C. We're obviously all hoping for a much more peaceful day. Reporting live in Washington, Jacqueline Fell, Fox 30, Action News Jax.
Our live team coverage continues in minutes. We're looking at how we got here and if investigators made the right call during the riot. First, let's get you ready for this day. Weather and traffic every 10 minutes with First Alert meteorologist Garrett Bedenbaugh. Boy, we just saw all those clouds over downtown Jacksonville.
Yeah, we're seeing clouds stream in from west to east here, and right now, even in Clay County, live from Orange Park on the Action News Jax First Alert Skycam network from Club Continental. Today, this is looking into the eastern and southeastern sky across the St. Johns River, but the clouds will be on the increase ahead of this weather system that will bring us some showers later today. There's First Alert Doppler HD tracking showers ahead of a cold front that'll be moving this way, already on and over the western panhandle, but over 300 miles to the west of Jacksonville and the I-95 corridor. It will be dry for many hours here today in Jacksonville and northeast Florida and southeast Georgia through your lunch hour It's dry, but as we head into the evening commute west of Jacksonville, along and west of Highway 301 to I-75, that's where we'll likely see some of those scattered showers already making their way into the area. And then they stream off to the east and to the northeast, and we see some rain even in Duval County, St. Johns County, Clay, Putnam counties as well. So everyone has the opportunity to see some showers today, especially late tonight and into, say, about midnight to 1 a.m., and then we really begin to dry out. A cool start, though, in the low 40s inland and McClenny. We're at the 50s closer to our beaches. The school day forecast is mainly dry for the kids today through the pickup time, too. We'll be seeing high temperatures topping out right at 70 degrees today in the hour-by-hour forecast, and then in the 60s through 7 p.m. I'm timing out how cold we get tonight and into your weekend in the First Alert 7-day forecast. It's coming up on 7:06. Here is Elizabeth Campbell in the Action News Jax First Alert Traffic Center.
So we've got two major traffic alerts for you this morning. This one I've been reporting for over an hour now. So I-295 southbound at the Dames Point Bridge. You can see the crash scene there. Right lane still blocked and delays are very heavy now. Unfortunately can't see the top of the screen, but I did see the delays all the way back to, there you go. You can see the delays at the very top left of your screen. So give yourself at least 15, 20 extra minutes. If you don't have to go to Dames Point Bridge, I would maybe wait a little while if you can. Again, here on the map, you can see the delays there. And really quickly, another crash for you in St. Johns County, where we do have a roadblock, according to the Florida Highway Patrol. This is at the intersection of US 1 and Racetrack Road. The crash is southbound, but there are reports that the whole intersection is blocked right now. You can see the delays there in red, so avoid US 1 at Racetrack. Instead, use 95 as your alternate route. That's the latest from the Safe Touch Security First Alert Traffic Center. Letitia.
Well, right now the world is waking up in shock. I had a lot of people on social media tell me they couldn't sleep because of everything that happened yesterday, the violence and the unrest that unfolded on Capitol Hill, threatening American democracy.
Almost unbelievable to see here in America, this happening yesterday and last night. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill worked until this morning, though, after the mob of violent Trump supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol, breaking through doors and busting windows, as we saw yesterday on TV. The rioters overtook the floor of the chambers, forcing lawmakers to hide and take shelter as they tried to count electoral votes. There's a live look now at Capitol Hill, which is now secured this morning. That curfew also expiring about an hour ago. Congress worked late into the night counting the Electoral College votes. Just after 3:30 this morning, Congress finalized Joe Biden's win.
And this was the scene on Capitol Hill just yesterday. Representative Michael McCall from Texas tweeted this video showing protesters. You see them there clashing with police, some fighting happening, trying to get past them. The mayor of D.C. said 2 pipe bombs were recovered along with Molotov cocktails. And then this video shows protesters here. We saw some of this yesterday, but it's still just mind-boggling to see people able to climb the walls of the Capitol building as they try to make their way inside. They're going to go all the way up and then just hop over that part of the wall there, Phil.
That ladder up to the certain level, and then they just scaled the wall the rest of the way. President Donald Trump tweeted shortly after the Capitol was breached. He said, "Please support our Capitol Police and law enforcement. They are truly on the side of our country. Stay peaceful. I am asking for everyone at the U.S. Capitol to remain peaceful, no violence. Remember, we are the party of law and order. Respect the law and our great men and women in blue." Thank you.
We do want to point out, days ago, on December 19th, the president tweeted out the following response to a Washington Examiner article claiming election fraud, which has been unfounded. He said in part, quote, "Statistically impossible to have lost the 2020 election. Big protest in D.C. on January 6th. Be there, will be wild." That was back in December 19th. Action News Jax, Alicia Tarancon joins us live on the South Bank. Alicia, state leaders say this type of violence should not be tolerated and order needs to be restored.
Tish, reaction and responses have just been pouring in after the attack. I was going through Twitter this morning, and I want to pull up a few of them over here. You can see Governor Ron DeSantis tweeted this statement out saying violence or rioting of any kind is unacceptable, and the perpetrators must face the full weight of the law. Now, other Florida leaders also took to Twitter late last night. Most extended their thanks to the Capitol Police, thanking them for their bravery. Senator Scott tweeted out, "The thugs who stormed the Capitol today and incited violence should be be arrested and prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. Every single one of them. Senator Marco Rubio sent out a plea to the president saying the men and women of law enforcement are under assault. It is crucial you help restore order by sending resources to assist the police and ask those doing this to stand down.
Just hours ago, a young lady died in this Capitol. That means somebody somewhere in this country got a phone call that their daughter was dead. Daughter was going to a political rally. She is dead. Died in this Capitol, somewhere not far from where we are standing.
And more reaction is also pouring out, not only from our state leaders, but our local leaders, too. And ahead at 8, you're going to hear the message from Mayor Curry. Reporting here on the South Bank, Alicia Tarrant, Con Fox 30, Action News Jax.
And we're tracking building clouds here at Fernandina Beach, live on the First Alert Skycam network here in Nassau County from the Hampton Inn, where we're seeing temperatures that are mild in the 50s closer to the coast. As we go through the day, we'll be in the mid to upper 60s here at Fernandina Beach, but that building cloud cover. But notice we are dry through at least the first half of the afternoon. And then as we head into the evening hours, especially after sunset, that's when we'll likely see a few showers make their way into the area, and we'll see temperatures about 60 by 9 p.m. But I am tracking a cooler day for your Friday and when the wind picks up. That's coming up in your First Alert 7-day forecast. Right now it's 7:11. Here's Elizabeth Campbell in the Action News Jax First Alert Traffic Center.
And your traffic forecast involves a closure that happened last night, and this will happen again tomorrow and into the weekend. So Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night, I-95 northbound, the ramp to I-10 will be closed from 10 o'clock at night until 5 o'clock the next morning. You will be detoured to Park Street, and there will be several turns involved, so give yourself some extra time. And if you are a truck driver of a semi, trucks are encouraged to take I-295 westbound to access I-10. That's the latest from the Safe Touch Security First Alert Traffic Center.
A number of key faces in the White House have resigned following the chaos that unfolded on the Capitol. Ahead at 7:30, what they say was the final straw.
Plus, one of the most popular COVID-19 testing sites in Jacksonville will soon turn into a vaccine site. After the break, what you have to do to assure your spot in line.
Right now, we're continuing to follow the latest developments when it comes to the chaos at the Capitol. Let's give you a look, though, right now. A live look over at Capitol Hill, where things are quiet this morning. On the right, though, this is what we saw yesterday. For example, that man, he's sitting in Nancy Pelosi's office in her chair. Demonstrators stormed the building yesterday. 52 people so far were arrested during that riot, Phil.
You know, Tish, there are many newspaper headlines nationwide marking history this morning. We want to take a look at a few of them. I'm seeing these for the first time, just like you this morning, from the Miami Herald. Chaos in D.C. here. Look at this, the big wooden chest pushed up in front of the Senate chambers doors there. In that chest, just about an hour before, were the election certifications that President or Vice President Pence brought in. Look at this guy. He's right in there in the glass, the broken glass there. Let's take a look at another one right now. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution, intolerable attack on democracy. See all those people, pro-Trump supporters on the Capitol. Next one is chaos from the Boston Herald here. All these supporters trying to get in. The Capitol Police, as well as other law enforcement, trying to keep them out. Of course, the Capitol Police, security guards, probably Secret Service here with their guns drawn. And this guy trying to take the podium there somewhere in the Capitol Rotunda. New York Times saying Trump incites mob rampage in Capitol, forces evacuations. Once again, we saw these people scaling the wall. They got up to this point from a ladder, and then they scaled this wall. Dangerous, but a lot of people did it and went up to the top of the Capitol building. And also, one more, the Wall Street Journal saying mob storms Capitol, same wall shot. Lawmakers reject voiding 2 states' votes after pro-Trump riot disrupts Congress. So we're going through one more Politico here, democracy under siege. A wider shot of the Capitol here with the Trump supporters. That curfew expired at 6 o'clock this morning. Fortunately, a lot calmer in Washington, D.C. right now, Tish.
Yes, and, you know, something that happened yesterday in the midst of all that chaos, you may have seen the alert. The Associated Press called the Georgia Senate runoff race. Democrat Jon Ossoff, he defeated Republican Senator David Perdue. And I got that in the midst of everything. It's significant, yes, but what was happening yesterday, it was just like a blip that came down compared to what was happening in D.C. Tuesday night, Raphael Warnock secured enough votes votes to win the Senate special election runoff, defeating incumbent Kelly Loeffler. So that ties up the U.S. Senate. This is what we know. Vice President-elect Kamala Harris will have that tie-breaking vote, giving Democrats control of both chambers of Congress and also the White House.
Next week, we could see one of the most popular COVID-19 testing sites add vaccines to its daily operation. So far, 1.3 million doses of the vaccine are available across Florida, but only 329,000 have been administered. That's only 25%. Action News Jack's Megan Moriarty is live at the Regency Square Mall site in Arlington. And Megan, they're trying to speed up this vaccination process, aren't they?
Yeah, and while we are looking to convert some COVID-19 testing sites into vaccination sites, that's an effort to speed up the process like you mentioned. Only 10% of vaccines are currently being given out. But soon, the Regency testing site here at the Regency Square Mall, one of our more popular testing sites, it could soon be a vaccination site in addition to that COVID-19 testing site. But the timeline is just not set yet. Lately, more than 3,000 tests have been performed here each day, and we're working to learn more about the logistics and how that will all work out, adding in this extra element. In the coming week, the Lane Wiley and Mandarin Senior Center sites will also convert from test sites to vaccination sites. These facilities were previously giving out flu shots and doing testing. The shots were an effort to ensure we don't have a twindemic, meaning sick flu patients and COVID-19 patients overrunning hospitals. Action News Jax spoke exclusively with Jared Moskowitz, the Director of Emergency Management for the state of Florida, who says he's not happy with how the distribution of the vaccine is playing out. Take a listen.
So yeah, there are hundreds of thousands of doses still out in the atmosphere sitting. Now, sitting is a relative term. I don't think that they're sitting in hospitals and county health departments where nothing is happening. But if I sent you 5,000 doses and you're only doing 100 shots per day, I categorize that as sitting.
He adds that we're getting fewer doses. He received 500,000 doses the second week, and the third week he received 280,000 doses. Now, coming up on Action News Jax at 8, I asked how he feels about the decline in doses, as well as what we're expected to get in coming weeks. That's all new coming up at 8. Reporting live in Arlington, Megan Moriarty, CBS 47, Fox 30, Action News Jax.
Now, Action News Jax First Alert Weather.
Good morning to you in St. Augustine Beach, live on the Action News Jax First Alert Skycam Network. Some building clouds here, moving from west to east, but sunrise coming up in the next 5 minutes or so. It'll be obscured with some cloud cover. But our temperatures there are in the 50s along the coast. Outdoor dining forecast today, well, will be dry for your lunch hour. We'll be in the mid-60s, but building clouds, so mostly cloudy. Dinner time will be having some scattered showers roll in from west to east here on First Alert Doppler HD. Right now, it's dry. We won't see any showers this morning through noon or even into the early afternoon, but this system will continue moving off to the east later today. Here's the hour-by-hour forecast. Tracking those showers still west of us by lunchtime. There's 3 and 4 p.m. beginning to stream across Waycross to, say, Lake City, and then making it east of Highway 301 to the I-95 corridor. We'll see some of those scattered showers pretty much area-wide through the day. Today, at some point or the other, by this evening is the best opportunity to see that. And then they quickly move off to the east and to the northeast, and we begin to dry out overnight through the early morning commute on Friday, when it turns breezy, too. So umbrellas, need them today, especially for this evening. But if you get home before, say, 4 o'clock in Jacksonville, you don't need it. Breezy, mostly sunny Friday and into Saturday, mostly sunny on Sunday. Don't need them, but then we see some more rain moving back in on Monday. But right now, we're tracking temperatures in the 40s in Jacksonville, but upper 50s. At Mayport, closer to the coast. We'll be rising in the hour-by-hour forecast to about 70 degrees today, ahead of that front and ahead of those showers, and then we cool down overnight into the 40s. Breaking it down hour by hour, work from home, there it is, those showers, especially west of Jacksonville by 5 p.m. But we get cooler, much cooler tomorrow. Look at that, only highs in the upper 50s, low 60s into Saturday, and tomorrow here on your Friday, we turn breezy too in the hour-by-hour forecast, 10 to 20 miles per hour worth of wind here out of the west and northwest for tomorrow. So it'll be breezy and much cooler with those highs in the upper 50s tomorrow. 30s in the morning for your weekend, always in view. The First Alert 7-day forecast, low 60s in the afternoon. There's those showers rolling back in Monday, drier for Tuesday and Wednesday. You can always track those showers anytime this afternoon on the First Alert weather app. And join Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish at 4 on Fox 30. Here's Elizabeth Campbell in the Action News Jax First Alert Traffic Center.
I'm looking forward to the moment when I can tell you the Dames Point Bridge crash has been cleared. Not happening yet, and I still recommend avoiding this area. You don't really have much of an alternate route unless you want to take 95, but delays continue to build and build as they work to get this crash cleared. So if you do have to head Dames Point Bridge 295 southbound, the south end of the bridge right before Merrill is where that crash is. I say give yourself 20 to 30 extra minutes because you are going to get stuck in those delays. Also, a crash in St. Johns County that is causing more heavy delays. US 1 southbound near Racetrack Road, the intersection is reported to be blocked, so avoid this area as well. Instead, use 95 as your alternate. Luckily, your big 3 travel times are looking good. All in green this morning. I-10 eastbound from 295 to downtown will take you about 5 minutes. 295 and 95 in the downtown area also looking good. That's the latest from the Safe Touch Security First Alert Traffic Center.
3 big things you need to know, powered by Safe Touch Security.
Hey guys, good morning. As you hit the car this morning, listen to 104.5 FM for continuing coverage of developments from the U.S. Capitol, the electoral confirmation vote this morning for Joe Biden, and more. It was the worst incursion yesterday of an institution of American government since the British stormed the U.S. Capitol in 1814. Joe Biden expected to nominate federal judge and one-time Supreme Court nominee Merrick Garland as Attorney General. WOKV's 3 big things you need to know, powered by Safe Touch Security.
Right now, some cabinet members are holding talks about possibly invoking the 25th Amendment to remove President Trump from office. Coming up at 7:30, we're hearing from a local political expert on what we could soon see on Capitol Hill. And this morning, social media is exploding as leaders all over the world react to yesterday's events in D.C. Ahead at 8, the one world leader calling on Americans to, quote, stop trampling on democracy.
The debate over Shad Khan's plan to develop Lot J heads back to the City Council today. It starts at 10 a.m. City Council will meet to discuss the ordinance authorizing the development, including numerous amendments. You can attend in person or through a Zoom meeting.
Some cabinet members are now holding talks about invoking the 25th Amendment and possibly removing President Trump. Ahead, our political expert weighs in on what would need to happen and if that's even likely.
Live this morning, Fox 30 Action News Jax starts right now.
We can now add January 6th, 2021 to that very short list of dates in American history that will live forever in infamy.
The police are now running back into the Capitol building.
The United States Senate will not be intimidated. We will not be kept out of this chamber by thugs, mobs, or threats.
At their best, the words of a president can inspire. At their worst, they can incite.
You have to go home now. We have to have peace.
All individuals must leave the U.S. or be subject to arrest.
Still gives you shivers listening to that audio and seeing that video this morning. Right now, we are waking up to the aftermath of an attack we haven't seen in our lifetime. Welcome, everyone, to Action News Jax this morning. I'm Phil Amato.
I'm Letitia Barriola. So while you slept overnight, President-elect Joe Biden's results were certified, and President Trump said there would be an orderly transfer of power. Let's get you caught up on the very latest here when it comes to the chaos at the Capitol and the aftermath. So this is the damage left behind following the riot at the U.S. Capitol. Look at this. New images here. You see stuff everywhere. Papers on the floor, shattered glass, broken furniture in the halls of the U.S. Capitol. Right now, 14 officers were hurt in this riot. What you're seeing, new pictures here of officers responding to the U.S. Capitol yesterday. And the mayor of D.C. says she's extending a public emergency order for that area for the next 15 days, which will be through the inauguration. This leads our team coverage, which includes if President Trump could leave the White House earlier than expected.
First, we have weather and traffic for you every 10 minutes. We start with Action News Jax Special Meteorologist Garrett Wiedenmud. Garrett, chilly temperatures are coming our way.
Yeah, they're coming our way. And I think a nice way to start this day after that is the sun rising. It always does. Right here live from Riverside on the Action News Jax First Alert Skycam Network. We're tracking mostly cloudy skies as they continue to build in through the day today. We'll have some peaks of sunshine, but also some increasing and thickening clouds and have a cold front that will bring us some showers here into the afternoon, and especially the evening hours for Jacksonville. We're at 54 downtown. Out the door cast here today, about 70 degrees for the afternoon high temperature, but mid-60s through your noon hour, and still dry by then too, by the way, and then low 60s by 5 o'clock. But then this little band of showers on First Alert Doppler HD will continue advancing to the east and arrive here again this late afternoon and into the evening hours. Here's that hour-by-hour forecast. There's 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, still west of Jacksonville, but in the viewing area from Lake City up to Waycross, and then heading off to the east. So some scattered showers through this evening, and then drying out for the morning commute tomorrow. But right now, it's starting off chilly in the mid-40s inland, even in the mid-40s north and west of downtown at the International Airport, but mid-50s in St. Augustine. So again, today we'll be in the upper 60s to near 70 degrees with some late afternoon and evening showers before we dry out and cool down. And then we see the 30s. I'll time out when we see the 30s, a lot of spots in a lot of neighborhoods. Coming up in the First Alert 7-day forecast. It's 7:34. Here's Elizabeth Campbell in the Action News Jax First Alert Traffic Center.
Lots of folks still working to get this crash cleared. Avoid 295 and the Dames Point Bridge southbound. Northbound, you're moving just fine, but southbound, the delays continue to build. Give yourself, I'd say, up to 25, 30 extra minutes, and be prepared to send those delays. Or if you want to give yourself about an hour or so, you can wait and hopefully wait until that is cleared up. Also an area to avoid, US 1 near Racetrack Road. A crash here with reports that the full intersection is blocked. We are seeing those heavy delays, so avoid US 1. Instead, use 95. 95, we're not seeing any delays. And a quick look at 95 in St. Johns County, northbound specifically, looking really good. US 1 further south to State Road 206, that will only take you 5 minutes. Then a bit further north, State Road 16 by the outlets to County Road 210 will take you 9 minutes, which is moving at the speed limit. That's the latest from the Safe Touch Security First Alert Traffic Center.
Right now, the world is watching as the United States of America prepares for the 46th president.
A string of people in the Trump administration, they have resigned following the violence and rioting. So overnight, House Deputy National Security Advisor Matt Pottinger, he stepped down. Stephanie Grisham, First Lady Melania Trump's chief of staff and a former press secretary to the president, she resigned, as did press secretary Sarah Matthews. And Anna Christina Ricky Nicia, the White House social secretary, she also turned in her resignation. Others who are reportedly considering following suit include National Security Advisor Robert O'Brien and Deputy Chief of Staff Chris Liddell.
President Trump has less than 2 weeks now left in office, but some cabinet members are now holding talks about possibly invoking the 25th Amendment. Action News Jax Alicia Tarancon joins us live with more on that. And Alicia, that would force President Trump's removal from office right away.
And Phil, those discussions are going on right now, but it's unclear if there's actually enough cabinet members to remove President Trump. Now, the 25th Amendment needs the vice president as well as the cabinet majority. And Congress went ahead and finalized Biden's win after the rioters caused chaos at the U.S. Capitol. The Senate and House rejected the objections to throw out Arizona, Georgia, and Pennsylvania's electoral votes for Biden. The certification process was halted when the riot began and a woman was shot and killed on Capitol grounds. Political expert Dr. Art Vanden Houten from Flagler College weighs in, saying it would take the vice president and cabinet in order to take action.
You know, to remove the president as is being discussed seems hard to fathom, right? I mean, there's 2 weeks left in his term. Impeachment seems entirely implausible given what would need to happen.
And Charlie Crist, the former governor of Florida, is also calling for the removal of President Trump. In the next 30 minutes, you're going to hear from our local leaders about all the violence that took place on the Capitol. Reporting live here on the South Bank, Alicia Taran-Khan, Fox 30, Action News Jax.
In the middle of the chaos at the Capitol, the Associated Press called the Georgia Senate runoff races. In the next half hour, the important results you may have missed during all the unrest yesterday.
Plus, new video from inside the chaos at the Capitol just entered the Action News Jax newsroom. The lawmaker who recorded himself making it inside the Capitol building, what he said the moment the doors were breached.
Now, here's your First Alert weather in a minute.
At 7:40, I'm First Alert meteorologist Garrett Biedenwald, live looking St. Augustine on the Action News Jax First Alert Skycam Network. Got some sunshine coming up with some clouds. We'll see more clouds stream in through the day. This morning, we're at 56 degrees there at the coast, but in the 40s inland. Offshore today, southeast winds 10 to 15 knots. Our seas 3 to 5 feet. Low tide this morning just before 9 a.m. So a lot of beach to work with your morning walk, run, or jog. And then high tide at 3 o'clock this afternoon. At the beaches, a moderate to perhaps even high in northeast Florida beaches, rip current risk, and surf temperatures at 60 degrees. Surf about 2 to 4 feet. But there in St. Augustine today, it'll be a relatively mild day in the upper 60s to near 70 degrees, dry for a number of hours. And then after sunset is when we'll see some showers approaching from the west. So we'll see some of those showers make it into St. Augustine, St. Johns County before midnight, between 9 and midnight, really. We'll be seeing those showers here, if not about an hour or two beforehand. So something we'll be tracking for you coming up in your 7-day forecast. It's 7:41. Here is Elizabeth Campbell in your Action News Jax First Alert Traffic Center.
And for your traffic forecast, tomorrow, Saturday, and Sunday nights through the weekend, I-95 northbound, the ramp to I-10 will be closed from 10 o'clock at night to 5 o'clock the next morning. You will be detoured to the Park Street exit. You will have several turns to follow, so give yourself some extra time if you know you're going this direction. As for truck drivers, you are encouraged to take I-295 westbound to then access I-10. That's the latest from the Safe Touch Security First Alert Traffic Center.
COVID vaccine appointments are being taken today for folks in Duval, St. John's, and our Georgia counties. But you can't call to set up a time. Still ahead, what you have to do to secure your spot in line.
And how about starting the new year off rich? Nearly $1 billion are up for grabs in 2 lottery games. Coming up, the deadlines for getting tickets in case you're feeling lucky. Today, President-elect Joe Biden is expected to formally announce his pick for Attorney General. This comes as Biden was certified to be the 46th President of the United States early this morning. He'll be making remarks at 1:30 this afternoon in Wilmington, Delaware. You can watch it live on ActionNewsJax.com and our mobile app.
Just into the Action News Jax newsroom, new video appears to show a West Virginia lawmaker recording himself breaching the U.S. Capitol as he aligned with pro-Trump supporters. So this video was originally posted by Republican Derek Evans. It has since been deleted from his social media. As soon as the doors opened, or as soon as they were breached, he could be heard saying, quote, "We're in, keep it moving, baby." Once inside, he told rioters, quote, "No vandalizing." There are now calls for his resignation. Action News Jax reached out to senators and local members of Congress in Washington for their reactions on the unrest.
That's right. Representative John Rutherford here in Jacksonville said lawlessness taking place in our nation's capital is unacceptable and un-American. His tweet is right there on your screen. Yesterday, Action News Jax Ben Becker pressed Congressman Rutherford on who he blames for the violence.
The people that I blame for this are the people that stormed the Capitol of the United States. That's who I blame. And I hope that they'll all be held accountable. I hope that lives and property are not destroyed in this process.
You don't think the president has helped stir the pot in any of this?
Pardon me?
You don't think the president has helped stir the pot to get us to the point where we are?
Well, look, I always blame the people that commit the crime. They're the ones that are responsible, and they're going to be held responsible, I'm sure.
Well, you're one of the lawmakers who objected to the certification of the electoral votes. How much responsibility do you take for what we're seeing today?
None, Ben. This is a constitutional process.
What's your objection?
State legislatures have the plenary, which means total authority to set election laws. And there are some states where that was violated, during this election process, some changing them 2 days before. My issues are with Georgia, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Arizona.
Can you cite your source for some of this fraud that you're alleging?
Yes, it's in court records.
I'd like to hear from you. But specifically, which law? I'd like to know.
Well, I tell you what, I'll send it to you. I don't have it at my fingertips right now.
We have yet to receive those court records from Congressman John Rutherford.
3 big things you need to know, powered by Safe Touch Security.
Guys, good morning. Local Republican representatives John Rutherford and Kat Cammack both voting to oppose the electoral votes in Arizona and Pennsylvania. Ultimately, that effort failed early this morning as Joe Biden's win was confirmed by the United States Congress. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis says by next week we could see another 250,000 coronavirus vaccines flood into the state of Florida. How Democrats swept 2 Georgia Senate runoff elections and both making history along the way. WOKV's 3 big things you need to know, powered by Safe Touch Security.
Now, Action News Jax First Alert Weather.
Good morning to you, Jacksonville Beach, live on the Action News Jax First Alert Skycam Network. There goes the gold sunshine coming up over the eastern horizon, the southeastern horizon here today. And we're going to be seeing some building and thickening clouds through today, but it'll be actually a pretty nice day at the coast for a number of hours here in the upper 60s for our highs. Sunrise shot of the day coming in, submitted to actionnewsjax.com, not from this morning, out over the Atlantic from a shrimp boat. And you can see the birds there, but a nice little shot out over the Atlantic as they get our shrimp, if you're a shrimp lover. But right now, hour by hour, as you take you through Jacksonville Beach, we'll be in the upper 60s today, mostly cloudy with our sky. And notice, not a lot of rainfall here through the bulk of the day at Jacksonville Beach. That comes in this evening, primarily after sunset. 5-Street First Alert Doppler HD, dry now, but here comes our weather system that'll bring us some showers later on this late afternoon and into the evening hours. First, from west to east, we'll see it go across the area. There is about noon. It's still dry in Jacksonville, but again, building cloud cover. We'll see 3, 4, 5 o'clock. The showers begin to stream across, say, inland southeast Georgia down to Lake City. This is likely near the evening commute and lingering past it. And then there's 7, 8, 9, 10 p.m. We'll be seeing that moving across the rest of northeast Florida, and that includes the I-95 corridor and also our beaches, and then drying out by midnight to 1 a.m. And we'll see a dry morning commute tomorrow. But cooler temperatures will be in the 40s. Right now we're in the mid-40s, Jacksonville, 44 in McClenny, upper 30s in Blackshear, low 40s in Brunswick. Your backyard hour-by-hour forecast for Jacksonville gets us to about 70 degrees today. But again, a lot of dry hours today to enjoy the outdoors or get things done outside today without having to worry about the umbrella. That, again, comes in later this evening. Now, this afternoon we'll be in the upper 60s in Folkestone, low 70s, though, in Palatka and Putnam County, and about 70 degrees inland in St. Augustine, upper 60s there at the coast. Here's your Action News Jax First Alert 7-day forecast with your weekend always in view. Notice Friday will be breezy. Winds out of the west and northwest around 10 to 20 miles per hour. Only the upper 50s for highs. Then down into the 30s inland by Saturday and Sunday. A chilly couple of mornings for the weekend with some morning frost and low 60s in the afternoons. Some more moisture streams in from the west on Monday afternoon and into the evening. And then we dry out Tuesday and into Wednesday. You can always get this forecast anytime and track any showers right there on the Action News Jax First Alert Weather app. And join Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish at 4 as he tracks the showers on Fox 30. Here's Elizabeth Campbell in the Action News Jax First Alert Traffic Center.
Some of you have had great drives this morning as some of the interstates look good. Others, unfortunately, not so much. This is a new crash. There's actually 2 in this area. 95 northbound near 8th Street. The next is a bit further north near MLK. You can see those flashing lights. It looks like a lane is blocked, and every now and then we do see those delays pick up. So give yourself some extra time if you're heading 95 northbound near 8th Street. As for the crash on the Davis Point Bridge, unfortunately, still there, still causing delays. It is southbound on the south end of the bridge before Merrill. Delays are back to the north end of the bridge. I recommend avoiding it. If you have to go this way, give yourself 25 to 30 extra minutes. Also still following delays on US 1 in St. Johns County near Racetrack Road. The intersection is closed, so use 95 as your alternate route. That's the latest from the Safe Touch Security First Alert Traffic Center.
In the next half hour, we're showing you some of the most dramatic history-making moments from the riot at Capitol Hill. What this means next for America.
COVID-19 testing sites could soon become vaccination sites. Coming up, I asked Mayor Lenny Curry how we plan to balance the two and why he says we need to keep testing in our community.
Welcome back. Your time's 7:55 on this Thursday. Statewide, Florida hit a record of 17,783 cases yesterday of COVID-19 with 132 new deaths. Locally, in Duval County, we had more than 1,000 new cases. And Clay County hit a record with 226 new cases. And exactly 1,000 people have been hospitalized for the virus in our local counties. Florida and Georgia, in those counties specifically, since the start of the pandemic, there's now a push statewide and locally to turn testing sites into vaccination sites to help slow the spread of the virus. Action News Jack's Megan Moriarty is live at the Regency Square Mall testing site in Arlington. And Megan, you asked the mayor about whether this means COVID-19 testing sites will be done away with.
Yeah, we pressed him on what is the plan here. We want obviously more vaccination sites as well, but what about COVID-19 testing, especially here at the Regency Square Mall site, which draws in thousands of people each day. I mean, you can even see there's people sitting on the ground out front, some people in line, and it doesn't even open until 9 a.m. There's cars in the parking lot. So a lot of people do come out here and are still getting tested. I want to show you the numbers from the last 5 days just to show how many tests have been performed here. The Regency site has tested more than 3,000. They performed more than 3,000 tests each day in the last 5 days, and 4 out of those 5 days there were more than 3,500 tests completed. Right now the state says it plans to add vaccines to the Regency by this weekend, but an exact timeline has not been given or logistics on how it will work when it comes to COVID testing as well as COVID vaccinations in the same place. Also in the coming weeks, the Lane Wiley and Mandarin Senior Center sites will be converted into COVID vaccine sites.
With talk about converting a lot of these testing sites into vaccination sites, obviously we want to get as many people vaccinated as possible, but for instance, Regency is testing more than 3,000 people a day. How will we balance which one's going to stay a testing site, what's going to be a vaccination site, or are they going to be both?
I would say we would address, we're not going to let ourselves get into a situation where people that need to be tested can't be tested.
Curry was also pressed by media outlets regarding any restrictions that might be coming into place as we do increase in the number of COVID-19 cases both statewide and locally here. He says that no restrictions are on the table right now and that we need to learn to live in this situation in a safe and responsible way. In Arlington, Megan Moriarty, Fox 30, Action News Jax.
Meanwhile, the state is planning to step up and help get those in long-term care facilities vaccinated. Many of those places have not yet been able to administer even the very first dose. Dayspring Senior Living Executive Director tells Action News Jax because of the slow turnout, the state will be taking over vaccine distributions at long-term care facilities this week. He says the state will be prioritizing those who have not gotten a vaccine date yet from CVS or Walgreens pharmacies. Mary Daniel, whose husband is in an assisted living facility, says he's scheduled for his first shot on January 22nd.
That's a long way, a lot longer, a month later, basically, than what we were originally told. And so that's disappointing.
If you're 65 and up and don't live at a facility, you can make a vaccine appointment in Duval County online. Time slots reopen today at 5 p.m.
And our first alert, meteorologist Garrett Wiedenball. 40s inland, 50s at the coast. How warm we get before some showers push in. That's coming up in your updated First Alert 7-day forecast next on Fox 30.